Every time there's a change in the Dow Jones Industrial Average, I get, several dozen emails from people saying, gee, this is really opaque. How do they make these decisions? And who's on the committees and who's on the S&P committees? Can you, I know you don't like going into a lot of detail, but could you just explain how the committees work? Perhaps the Dow Industrials and the S&P 500 committee. I mean, it's a joint venture, right, between S&P Global, CME Group, and News Corp, right? Who decides who sits on the boards and how often do they meet? Could you just give us some bare bones explanation so the viewers don't keep harassing me every time about it?
Yeah, so our ownership, we're owned 73% by S&P Global and then 27% by CME. And in terms of the committees, look, again, this history we talked about with the Dow through the S&P, it's built on independence and transparency. So our committee structure is set up, and the governance we have is that way. So we, if you will, separate any of our analytical, the decision making in those committees, with our commercial activities. And even on the committee structure, I'm not part of that, even as CEO. So that's something that has really stood the test of time, not even decades, but over more than a century of that process. But what we do in return is to make sure when new information comes to the marketplace that's relevant to any of these indices, we hold periodic public consultations. We take in that information, but it's absolutely crucial for our brand and our independence is then we want to disseminate information from those committees that it's done in a responsible way, to the public. So again, it's something we put in place and creating not only the benchmarks, but now all these investable products, the indices for these investable products we're talking about. It's really an important process for us.
So the Dow Jones Industrial Average has a committee, right? The S&P 500 has a committee that meets.
Correct.
Who's on the committee? I know you don't give out names, but is it S&P? Is it S&P employees that are on? It's S&P people. It's not a separate board of completely different people. Explain.
No, we don't disclose kind of board membership as part of that. But again, any relevant information, things that change, or you mentioned new asset classes like crypto or as ESG. I mean, these committees, do evolve. They take in the information, and again, as things are done, it's very important for us responsibly to kind of disseminate in a public fashion. So but in terms of getting kind of the composition of that information, it's not made public.
And how often do the boards meet? Do they have regular meetings where they sit down and talk, or is?
There's a formal kind of governance structure around them, and again, a number of committees that handle. You mentioned, two of the biggest, but obviously, we have a lot of indices out there, and the way that they meet and the governance process, it's reviewed regularly, and we have third-party auditors who come in, and we basically kind of work under IOSCO international principles for that. So it's something we take very serious, and it's really at the heart of our brand, and something we're very proud of.
Oh, I know, and believe me, I've been the stocks correspondent for 24 years, and it's an eternal source of inquiry about the process because, as I said, indexing has become so much more important. People that make those decisions have become more important, I think, for all the right reasons.